Performing rights organizations, what are they? What do they even do? And if you are a composer, a songwriter, or an independent musician, do you need one?
I gotta put my hand up and admit it. Think I really might have blown it this.
I'm gonna go over all of that in this video. I am a singer-songwriter myself, and I am with a performing rights organization also known as SOCAN in Canada. Performing rights organizations, or PROs or pros, pay the songwriter their performance royalties. That's essentially all they do. They represent songwriters. Now, where it gets a little bit complicated is when we talk about what type of royalties, or what does it mean when your song is performed. So I'm gonna break down those two areas. Let's first talk about what a performance is, because a performance triggers a royalty payout for the songwriter. For example, I'm a songwriter myself, and I have my songs played on the radio, I have my songs played on Spotify, and people play my songs with hard CDs in their CD players. That still happens a little bit. So what triggers a performance royalty? There are three big ways where performance royalty is triggered, and I'll go through each of those ways. The first is radio. When your song is played on the radio, on AM or FM radio, I'm not talking about satellite radio, it has to be AM or FM radio, that will trigger a performance royalty and you will get paid out from your performance rights organization. The second is live performance. When your song is performed live, that will also trigger a performance royalty. As an example, if I go and play my songs live just with my guitar acoustically in a live venue, that will trigger a performance royalty. If I go and play with a big band, it's just the same thing. It both trigger a performance royalty. It doesn't always have to be the songwriter performing their songs to trigger the performance royalty. As an example, if I write songs and someone else, Susan, goes and sings that song in a live venue, then the performance royalty is triggered and I still get a payout because I wrote the song, even though Susan is playing it live. The third biggest way to trigger a performance royalty, when your songs are played on TV, so they need to buy a license to play this song. And in order to get a license, they have to go to the performing rights organization and pay for that license. Once they give the cash for that license, the performing rights organization will hand over the license in exchange for cash. And then over time, when that song is actually performed, the performing rights organization will give me the cash that I deserve from that transaction. And so on the back end, I don't have to worry about, as a songwriter, any of those transaction deals at all. That's what performing rights organizations do, is they take care of all those transactions going back and forth. Essentially, if you want to get paid when your song is performed live, put on the radio, or put in a movie, you need a performing rights organization to help you get paid. So that already answers the next question, is if you're an independent musician, do you need a performing rights organization? And yes, you do need one. It's not do or die, but you won't get paid for your music. So really the question you have to ask yourself is just what performing organization you should sign up for. And typically, performing rights organizations happen to be locally. So for example, in Canada, called SOCAN. So I am a member of SOCAN because I am Canadian. In the United States, there are ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, which are the popular ones. In the UK, PRS, and in Germany, for example, theirs is called GEMA. It does start to get a little more complex when we talk about co-writing and the other types of performance royalties. Co-writing specifically because that's when you have to start splitting up royalties. And so I can make another video for that. If you're interested, please put a comment in the comment section. Don't get too overwhelmed with all the types of royalties that you need to collect as an independent musician. It can be complex, but if you break it down and just consume it in chunks over time, it will be easier to understand. I'm a singer-songwriter myself, and if you're interested, I'll leave a couple links to my own music below. Hope to see you in the next video.